Front Page Dramas present The Spirit is Willing. This week's Front Page drama, The Spirit is Willing, is a radio dramatization of a feature article entitled When Crime Poses as Spiritualism, which appears in next Sunday's issue of the American Weekly, the magazine with the greatest circulation in the world, which comes to you each week with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. The radio drama we are about to present is designed to expose the methods of those conscienceless racketeers who take advantage of the grief and faith of those who, inspired by a great love, seek to communicate with their lost loved ones. Miss Rose Mackenberg, the author of When Crime Poses as Spiritualism, was chief investigator for the late Harry Houdini in his courageous campaign against fraudulent spiritualistic mediums. Since Houdini's untimely death, Miss Mackenberg has carried on his work in this field and has won an enviable reputation as an ace woman detective. In the feature article in next Sunday's American Weekly, Miss Mackenberg describes some of her fascinating experiences in exposing the particularly vicious type of racketeer who poses as a spiritualistic medium. Now to our story. The scene is the broad porch of an expensive hotel at a well-known summer resort. Two dignified, gray-haired gentlemen are engaged in conversation.
I know exactly how you feel, Mr. Todhunter. 5 years ago, I lost my wife. I had no children to comfort me in my bereavement. I was alone, and the loss weighed heavily upon my mind until I met Dr. Charles.
I can readily sympathize with you, Mr. Wilson. The loss of my daughter was a great blow to my wife and myself. But this Dr. Charles you speak of, Mr. Wilson, who is he?
Most remarkable man, Mr. Todhunter. Spiritualist.
Oh,
I know how some people think of such things. As a matter of fact, I used to scoff at the idea myself until I met Dr. Charles. Then I investigated. Dr. Charles was very patient and understanding, brought me solace and comfort. And as I grew in the knowledge and understanding of his teachings, he gradually put me in touch with my dear wife. I've talked with her, felt her presence as surely as if she were alive and at my side. I've received advice and counsel from her through Dr. Charles.
That's almost incredible. And this Dr. Charles is here, you say?
Yes, he has a cottage here every year. That's it, right over there on that hill.
And do you really think Dr. Charles could help me?
Well, that is a matter of personal faith. If you will give Dr. Charles your complete confidence, if you can bring yourself to really believe in his work, have faith that all things are possible, then I'm sure that you, too, can share the consolation, joy, and new faith that has been mine for the past 5 years.
I'm going to do as you say. Can you make an appointment for me?
Well, I suppose I could, but it's entirely unnecessary. The doctor receives guests between 10 and 12 and 2 and 4. I think it's better for you to go alone.
You're right, Wilson. I'll walk over and pay Dr. Charles a visit now.
Good. I'm sure you'll find comfort. For you have faith, Mr. Todhunter. You'll be rewarded.
Good morning, Dr. Charles speaking.
Doc, this is Wilson. I've just sent you over a customer. Now get this quick. Name, Mr. Robert Todhunter, retired industrialist. Business, heavy chemicals. Wife, Mrs. Eleanor Davis Todhunter, had one child, daughter, Margaret, blonde. Killed in auto accident on Post Road last year in her 18th year. Loved music. Played piano, but was also an outdoor girl, very fond of driving. They all lived at Haverstock, Pennsylvania. Haverstock, that was. Spent summers at Westerville, Connecticut.
Yes. That's enough for the first reading. I'll get the rest of the details from you tonight.
Okay, and, Doctor, don't forget to suggest play relaxation. And, of course, the club.
All right, thanks. Now, there's the door. I'll see you later. Good morning, sir.
You are Dr. Charles?
Yes, won't you come in?
Thank you. A mutual friend, Mr. Wilson.
Oh, yes, Mr. Wilson of the hotel.
Yes, my name is Todhunter.
I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Todhunter. Won't you be seated?
Oh, thank you, Doctor. Mr. Wilson tells me you were of invaluable help to him some years ago upon the death of his wife and have continued to aid him with many of his problems.
That's very flattering, Mr. Todhunter, but I myself am really nothing without the power and guidance given me from the other world. I am like yourself, a poor, hopeless mortal.
Well, I have a problem, Doctor, and I feel that you can help me. I have recently...
Say no more, sir. Suppose you sit with me here, and perhaps the powers from the other world will help you through me. After all, Mr. Todhunter, I am only the medium of communication. Now, just sit here and remain perfectly still and relaxed. All I ask is that you have faith in a life after death. That there is a spirit world, peopled by our loved ones, who can and will see us, talk with us, and help us in our hour of need. Are you ready, sir?
Perfectly, Doctor.
Good. Now I will try to reach the spirit world. There appears to be a wandering spirit, Mr. Todhunter, traveling between two houses of refuge. I see that it's a girl. A girl. She seems to be passing between a home. And it comes to me faintly as H-A-V-E-R. H-A-V. It seems to me Haverstock.
Oh.
Then the spirit moves to a little white house beside the sea. This place comes to me as Westerville.
Yes.
I see a blonde girl laughing and carefree. She drives a car down a road. Oh, I hear music. Music of the piano. Yes, it's a piano. A voice calls Margaret.
That's she, Doctor. My daughter, Margaret. She did play the piano. She drove a car always between our home and Haverstock and Westerville. Oh, my daughter, please have her speak to me.
You must try to remain calm, sir. Unfortunately, you've broken the contact. Now we'll try again.
Sorry.
Come again to me, beautiful spirit child. Come again to me, beautiful spirit child. There. We are here with faith. We want you to speak with us. All is peace. All is good. Faith is strength. Come to us. We are ready. Daughter Margaret speaks. I see her riding in an automobile. She calls out. She is careful with her driving. She says you must not grieve her. She is happy, gay, and carefree. She wants you to be. She wants you to go to theaters, parties, clubs again. Start today. Live anew in happiness. I hear her laughing. Now, she says if you take a chance, play roulette. How strange. Be sure to play number 5. Well, she's leaving now, but wants to communicate often. I'm sorry, Mr. Todhunter, but she is gone.
Oh, it's most remarkable, Doctor. You knew of my 2 homes, the towns, my daughter's name, her habits, her music, everything about her. And she's just as she was. I'm so glad, carefree, and happy.
I'm deeply grateful, sir. As I have said before, I'm merely the medium of communication. Your faith made it all possible.
Oh, I must go and thank Mr. Wilson and, tell my wife. She will be ever so happy. Oh, and Doctor, I mustn't forget your fee.
Oh, that, sir, is very difficult for me to...
I understand, Doctor, but I have money, plenty of it.
Shall I say $25 then?
I certainly, Doctor.
Blithely ignorant of the system used by Dr. Charles and his accomplice Wilson, Mr. Todhunter went back to the hotel rejoicing. He found Mr. Wilson, told him of the amazing revelations, and in thanking him, accepted Wilson's offer to join him at a nearby casino that evening. Then he went home and told his wife. Mrs. Todhunter, without revealing to her husband, became suspicious, and without her husband's knowledge, called his former business associate, who in turn put a call for Miss Rose Meckenberg, who arrived that evening and began investigating. The next afternoon, she had a private conference with Mrs. Todhunter.
It is just as I suspected, Mrs. Todhunter. This so-called Dr. Charles is nothing but a racketeer, a charlatan, and this man Wilson is one of his accomplices. I went there for a seance, and in the waiting room I met another one. This was an elderly woman who engaged me in conversation and told me how wonderful Dr. Charles had been to her. Well, I told her a fake story about being a widow and being worried over my child's health.
And what happened?
This female accomplice went in ahead of me and told my story to the doctor, so that when I went in, he was able to tell me all about myself and my child. I received a message from my husband in the spirit world, too.
Miss Meckenberg, what are we going to do? My husband lost $8,000 playing roulette last night at the casino Mr. Wilson took him to. Is there no way we can stop this?
I can assure you that by tomorrow afternoon at this time, we'll have enough evidence to convince your husband that this Dr. Charles and his accomplice Wilson are racketeers. We can probably recover your husband's losses and send these men to prison. But I must caution you to keep all this a secret.
You may rest assured I will, Miss Mackenberg. And I'll do everything within my power to cooperate.
Good. Now, if by some pretext or other you can invite Dr. Charles and his accomplice Wilson to come here, I'll expose them in front of an officer of the law, as well as the hotel authorities.
I can arrange that quite easily. The doctor and Mr. Wilson have been anxious to meet me. Will probably try to enlist my sympathy in their little game. I'm sure I can get them here.
True to her promise, Mrs. Todhunter succeeded in getting the doctor and his accomplice to come to her suite in the hotel. And Miss Mackenberg notified the authorities, and the stage was set for the expose of the racketeers.
I repeat, Mr. Todhunter, you've been duped and swindled. Dr. Charles is nothing more than a fake, a charlatan.
Why?
And Mr. Wilson here is his accomplice. More than that, Wilson is the owner of the casino where you lost your money playing roulette on the number the good doctor here got from the spirits world.
Oh, I can't believe it, miss. I'm sure you must be mistaken.
This is plain libel, and unless the lady withdraws her statements and makes an apology, I shall be forced to resort to legal methods.
I quite agree with you, Doctor. This woman is deliberately fabricating this whole story in order to discredit us with Mr. Todhunter.
Very nicely played, gentlemen, but hardly convincing in view of the evidence I have. Mr. Todhunter, during the night, my assistants placed a dictograph in the doctor's office. I'm going to play you what the machine recorded. You will readily recognize the voices. Are you ready, Johnson?
Oh, sir.
Very well. Listen closely, please.
Well, how's everything going, Doctor? How's the new patient?
He doesn't suspect a thing. I wonder how that sucker manages to come in when it rains, let alone run a business. He's as innocent as a baby and twice as stupid.
He cried a little when we took that $8 grand from him.
Yes, but I fixed that. I convinced him that he had played the wrong number. I told him the spirit voice said 3, not 5.
Nice work. I'll get him back tonight.
Yeah, he'll be back to win back his losses on 3, so watch for him. And be sure to take good care of my cut.
Well, Mr. Todhunter, have you heard enough?
Yes. Yes, what a fool I've been.
And now, Dr. Charles, and you too, Wilson, I have a warrant for your arrest. I would advise you to go quietly, as I have the hotel and police authorities waiting.
All right, you've got us. But let me say this, Todhunter. How will you feel when all your friends read the evidence in the paper of how we took you over? You'll be the laughing stock of all your friends and associates.
Yes, he's right. What can I do? I refuse to prosecute.
Very well, Mr. Todhunter. We make them another offer. Doctor, and you too, Wilson, refund all the money you've taken from Mr. Todhunter, and we'll call the whole thing off.
Yes, I'll agree to that. Give me back my money, and I'll say no more.
So rather than risk ridicule and publicity, Todhunter let Charles and Wilson go free, no doubt to find other wealthy, credulous people who might not have the good luck to be protected as Todhunter was by a smart, intelligent wife. You have just heard a radio dramatization of When Crime Poses as Spiritualism, a feature article to be found in next Sunday's issue of the American Weekly, the magazine with the greatest circulation in the world that comes to you at no extra cost as part of your Hearst Sunday newspaper. Join the millions of Americans who each Sunday find the maximum of reading enjoyment in the entertaining, educational, and up-to-the-minute stories, articles, and feature fiction by the world's best writers to be found in every issue of the American Weekly, the magazine distributed each Sunday with your Hearst Sunday newspaper.